You can read.
I can't. I'm illiterate.
Well, now that we can read, I guess we should watch another film to celebrate.
And what better way to celebrate than digging out our old pal James Bond?
Oh, old Jimmy Bond.
Yeah.
He's gotten over his fear of spiders now, and he's got to kick some spectre ass.
Well, I'm not entirely sure about that. He might still be a little scared of spiders along the way.
There's no spiders in this one, spoiler alert.
Oh, crap. Right, okay then.
They didn't introduce a motif of have a spider in every film.
Disappointed. Are you sure there's not any on the back wall or anything?
Well, there was originally going to be that, but then Sean Connery put his foot down.
And said,
I'm not sure about this one, lads. Spider in every film. I don't like it.
I mean, I'm generally scared of spiders anyway, as it is. So having one in every film would just be daunting.
It would just be daunting.
Right. Okay.
But enough about spiders. This is about Russia and love.
Is Russia in this film?
Nope. It's set in Turkey, in Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Anywhere near Russia?
No, not really.
Any Russian women in it?
I mean, it's kind of basically it's a Cold War thriller, so I think Russia does factor into it. But Bond doesn't step foot in Russia. Bond never stepped foot in Russia in any of the classic films, not until GoldenEye.
So we're going to be watching not From Russia with Love.
It's not. It's set in Russia. It's set in Istanbul.
We're going to be watching From Istanbul with Love.
And at the end, he goes to Venice.
We're going to watch From Istanbul with Love and then a bit in Venice.
Yeah, I think there's like a brief bit in Russia, but Bond never goes to Russia. We don't spend an extended portion of the film there.
Is there any love in the film?
There's quite a bit. Quite a bit of steamy love.
So there's steamy love, but there's no just normal love.
Normal love.
And Bond doesn't send
Dan,
love.
what is love?
No, I'm not doing. No, don't hurt me. No more.
And I wasn't doing a bit. I'm genuinely asking what is love.
Oh.
People keep telling me about it, but I don't know what it is.
Well then, comes a time in a young man or woman's life where they decide to feel.
Ew!
Which I know.
But girls are gross.
Well,
they have cooties.
Well, you might be because you like men, but that's fine. I support you every step.
Oh yeah,
of
I
the
didn't
way.
think about that.
Yeah. It's okay if you don't like women or men. That's fine too. If you like animals, seek help.
I can read.
You can read.
I like animals. I eat them.
So, hang on a minute, right? So we've had a misleading title with the Bond film. There was another misleading thing in the other film. What was the other misleading thing? There was another one where it was like...
Well, no, the last film was called Dr. No, but there was a guy called Dr. No in it, so that counts.
Okay. Right. Well, we're queued up on the black screen. We're on 000000.
It's because they couldn't actually go to Russia because the real Cold War was going on.
Well, couldn't they have gone to Istanbul and filmed it and said, no, look, it is Russia?
Because Istanbul looks nothing like Russia. It looks like Istanbul.
Well, they can make parts of
Istanbul's boiling, Russia isn't. I think that would sort of give the game away.
No, Russian summer is boiling. Summer in Russia's really hot.
They have summers in Russia?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Ever since the Cold War ended.
Oh, I see, you're doing a thing.
They do actually have hot summers in Russia. I had when I was in university, we lived in halls of residence, and one of the lads who lived on our floor came from Poland, and he used to go to Russia in his summer holidays, and the only reason he went there was because apparently in summer Russia is boiling hot.
Oh, right. So they could have filmed it in Istanbul and said it's okay, it's set in June.
Yeah. But then that'd kind of take the sheen off, the idea of Russia being a cold place, which a lot of people think it is. So, anyway, we're on black screen. We're on 000000.
Let's get on. I'll let you know when the lion roars, and that'll give you a good sing point.
I'll go 3, 2, 1, play. It's playing.
Second roar. So that's where you should be. Gun barrel. Boom.
Here comes
Bond. Now things feel a bit more normal. The gun barrel feels a bit more like the traditional intro.
Oh, like Bond off centre.
Not the weird wow, 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 wow intro to Dr. No.
Why was Bond off centre?
Why was he off centre?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's only the second film. Give him some slack. I also like that little effect there that they don't do again.
They got him
where the gun barrel kind of shrinks down.
They got him centred in the first film.
That's not actually Sean Connery doing the gun barrel.
Really?
He never did the gun barrel. That's a stuntman.
Oh. That's upsetting. Did not even do it in Never Say Never Again?
I don't think they did the gun barrel in Never Say Never Again.
Oh.
because I don't think they could, because that's like a trademark of Eon's United Artists Bond films.
Oh, right.
I'll let you know, so that the Bond films are made by a company called Eon Productions, which is, when I say Eon, that's who I'm referring to. Owned by Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman.
Was this
And that, by the way, Daniel, is Robert Shaw, who played
Quint
in Jaws.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
Wow.
He looks very dapper in this
He
film.
looks very young in this film.
Playing Red Grant.
Wow. Small world.
Red Grant is a character who you will see, a character type who you will see copied many, many times. Basically, the silent, deadly, Russian heavy.
Mm. Does he at any point monologue about the SS Indianapolis?
No, Dan, he does not, because that is the film Jaws.
I am upset
And this
now.
is the film From Russia with Love.
2 out of 10. Will not watch again.
But yeah, Grant is a very cool villain, and they copy him quite a few times over the course of the series.
Ah.
Never to quite the same degree.
So before we got started, you mentioned to me that this film is quite a bit more subdued than your average Bond film.
Well, it's I wouldn't say it's any more subdued than any of the others, but what it is very much a Cold War thriller.
Mm.
This is probably the closest the film's ever got to the tone of the books. But hang on, wait a minute! Oh my God!
James
They
Bond's
just killed
going to
James
die.
Bond!
James
The
Bond's
film's
going
over
to
now.
die.
The film's over. Roll the credits.
We're done. Okay, that's the end.
Well,
So,
I hope you
Ben,
enjoyed the commentary.
what did you think of From Russia with Love?
It was pretty good. It was quite short, but otherwise I liked it.
So this was spy training?
It was, and look,
That's rubbish.
it wasn't James
That's
Bond
really,
at all.
It was Ron Swanson from Community.
It was Peter Sellers.
That was rubbish.
When they had to recast the actor, because when they originally filmed it, the guy looked too much like Sean Connery. And they were
Right.
like, people are going to think we actually just killed Bond. So they said quickly, get a man with a moustache. No joke.
I can't
And
read
now,
the title.
This lovely lady does her stuff over the titles.
I can't
Now this
read
is interesting because
That's really nice. I like that effect, actually.
So there is a song called From Russia with Love. It's sung by Mr. Matt Monroe, but it's not the title song.
Oh.
We don't actually get a title song as such until the next entry, Goldfinger.
Which would be Shirley Bassey's Goldfinger.
But this one is just some nice little organ playing while a lovely lady does her stuff over the titles.
I do quite like that effect.
The titles of these early films are good because they're still experimenting.
How did they achieve it? Like
They
going
shone
to
it
black
on the lady's bits.
No, but like when she moves, it goes to a black screen and there's nothing behind it.
Well, presumably she's against a black backdrop, and they're just.
I was thinking they maybe might have matted it or something.
No, they've not matted it because look, they're clearly being projected on her curves.
Mm.
I wonder how all these old white men felt having their names against a lady's bits.
I personally would be very much in favour.
This is how all films should start. I wouldn't object. They got lazy in that bit.
So, would it be very cheesy if they did a new Bond film that they recreated some of the classic intro sequences?
I think it would be. I'd probably like it, but I think it might be a bit of a misstep. I think there's a way to do it because some of the modern Bond films have some great title sequences.
Mm.
You know, you can do some really good stuff. You know, like CGI and the rest of it. Casino Royale, the Daniel Craig Casino Royale, has a fantastic title sequence. Oh yeah, John Barry does all the music now. Martin Norman's been booted off.
He's gone.
He wanted too much money for, you know, he only created the most iconic theme of all time, but, you know, fucking get him gone.
Yeah, well, no,
And Terence Young's back.
Hooray! Well, at least that means you've got a consistency in the visuals. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? How many does Terence Young direct?
I think he did 3.
Oh, okay.
He did. Oh, let me just scanning brain. Yeah, he did 3. He did Doctor Know This and Thunderball.
Okay, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Because I do tend
And we
to...
start our exciting sequel to the exciting film Doctor No with a chess tournament.
Sorry, I'm just going to need to get my breath back. I like the fact they've got a sign that says silence.
I love the fact that they built this. Ken Adam, who's once again doing the sets, just built this enormous room for a sequence that lasts about 2 minutes and has no Bond in it. And it's really here to introduce us to the character of Kronstein.
I like the idea.
Like, look at that room, it's enormous.
Do they need a massive chessboard like that? Couldn't they have...
Well, Dan, they didn't have fancy computer graphics.
Well, no, but
They
they
didn't have
could...
fancy Apple Macintosh graphics.
I'd have just put a camera on the top.
Well, they couldn't. They probably couldn't even have done that back then.
It's 1963, Ben. They can photograph... They can project names onto a lady's body, I'm sure they can.
Well, that was the pinnacle of technology.
I'm sure they can put a video camera on the footage and... Oh. Sean Connery's let himself go.
His evil overlords need him.
Your move!
My friend tried to teach me how to play chess once. It's a bit too intellectual for me.
I understand the rules of chess. I understand how to play it. I get stuck at the end when it gets to check and checkmate. Because I can never understand when a check becomes a checkmate. And that's just purely because if somebody says there's a move you can make, you have to make the move regardless of whether you can see it or not.
I'm just thick. I'm not saying that this film is guilty of it, but I always hate it in films when it's become a bit of a cliche where like two characters will be playing chess, and you see Dan, it's like a metaphor. They're having a battle of wills. I always hate that. I just think it's a cliche.
Well, it's been a cliche since the Seventh Seal, really.
And now we go from Dr. No's evil mad oil rig lair to a boat.
My God.
But it's a pretty big boat though.
In this case, then, did you say that they got a bigger boat?
And this is our first appearance of what could be considered... Yes, I heard.
Yay!
This is our first appearance of what could be considered Bond's nemesis, Blofeld.
Oh, Donald Pleasance.
He's not played by Donald Pleasance in this.
Oh. Well, then this film is worthless.
He's played by a man's hand.
Oh, Mr. Bigglesworth.
I like to think that the cat's talking.
I do too.
Why else do we cut to the cat?
Why has he got hair?
Why has who got hair?
Blofeld.
Why's Blofeld got hair?
Yeah.
Maybe he shaved it off in the time between this and You Only Live Twice.
You're saying he had a Colonel Kurtz moment.
There will be. According to your instructions, I plan for Spectre to steal from the Russians their new lector decoding machine. For this, we need the services of the team.
So I think I said this on the last one, but this was named... Kennedy named this as one of his favourite books of 63. So...
They kind of weren't left with a choice.
Yeah, it seemed like the logical step to make From Russia with Love. Even though the From Russia with Love, the book, it ends with Bond nearly dead. Because Ian Fleming didn't know if he wanted to carry on the books. Because he was getting depressed and he was getting fed up with Bond. So he ends the From Russia with Love with Bond poisoned and on the verge of death.
Oh.
Because he didn't actually want to do him anymore. Spoiler alert, that's not how this one ends.
Oh, that's upsetting. I wonder if the Kennedy got to watch this.
No, Kennedy wouldn't... Hang on, this came out in October.
Of 63 and he died on November 23rd, 63.
Yeah, so he could have seen it.
I wonder what he thought of it.
Yes, it is. Because I have anticipated every possible variation of counter-move. But what makes you think...
I like that subtle effect of the camera twisting and turning.
For the simple reason that
They don't overdo it.
They keep it rolling.
the British mentality is that they always treat a trap as a challenge.
That's useful.
In case they couldn't possibly pass up even the slightest chance of getting their hands on an electric decoder. They have wanted one for years.
All that you say could be true. What else?
As an added refinement, I think that Spectre will probably have the chance of a personal revenge for the killing of our operative, Dr. No. Because the man...
This is one of the few times where the Bond... They do it loads now in the Daniel Craig films, but this is the few times where they actually reference, like, directly reference events of the previous film.
Oh wow!
Not something you get very often in the classic in the classic era.
Classic era Bond.
Yeah, they're mostly self-contained.
Neat. Meanwhile, at the Spy Academy,
this is Spectre School.
Oh,
Where all women look like that.
How do you become a bad guy again?
You must be double jointed and you must be Hungarian.
Okay. I am one of those two things. Oh no, it's an evil helicopter.
But it's okay, we're on Evil Island.
Oh, that's all right then.
That's the guy who killed Peter Sellers.
Ah, yeah.
Now who will make the Pink Panther strikes again?
Why do they all dress in black?
Because the baddies.
Are we the bad guys?
It's literally called Spectre Island. I love that.
Welcome to Spectre Island,
Welcome.
the most magical place on Earth.
Welcome to the baddies' lair.
Home of the McRib.
That video's brainwashed you.
I am obsessed now.
Excellent. Where is he now?
At the lake. Bring him to my office, will you?
He's
I
being
don't think-
wheeled down.
I don't think that man said that.
No, he didn't.
Where is he now? At the lake.
Eddie Stilton.
This Grant's one of the best men we've ever had. Homicidal, paranoid, superb material. Though his methods were a little crude, his response to our training and indoctrination have been remarkable.
This is like the first version of a Q lab scene, but it's on Spectre Island.
I love the idea of them setting fire to people in training.
Substitute for experience.
I agree, we use live targets as well.
How do you volunteer for that job?
It looks like a scene out of The Naked Gun.
It does a bit. I want to be a live target in a Spectre operation. I want to be set on fire. And you're like, how do I get the job of getting massaged by her?
You have to be really good at what you do.
I always wonder what the program is at Spectre like, the promotion like. Would Red Grant have had to go through all that? I like how he's literally called Red Grant because he's red,
Like a Russian.
like a dirty Russian.
Like a Ruski. Nothing.
He did win. He wins slightly. Fuck him.
Not a flip. Burn him.
He can't be massaged by her anymore.
Downgrade
You
the
have,
pretty...
you have to be massaged by the older woman instead.
Downgrade from the pretty woman, please.
You have to be massaged by Rosa Klebb instead.
Well, okay. But I'm not going to be happy about it.
Мне нужно пойти за покупками. Увидимся позже в столе.
So it's the Russian embassy in Istanbul.
Yes, and that's our Bond girl of the film, Titania Romanov,
Oh,
played by the luxurious Daniela. I think her name's Bianchi. I can never say her last name. She was Miss Universe,
Oh,
and this was her first film.
lovely.
I don't think she did an awful lot after this, mind.
Well,
Bond girls are interesting. They sort of have their big moment in this, and then they just kind of fizzle away.
it's a bit like...
It never really often leads to a glittering career, does it?
It's a bit like Doctor Who companions. They kind of
Exactly.
they appear in their moment, then disappear. With the exception of Karen Gillan, I can't actually think of anybody who's been a companion who's gone on to better things.
It's kind of the kiss of death, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the thing you're known for, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
Now, was she the inspiration for Frau Farbissina from the Austin Powers films?
Yes, she was actually.
I thought as much.
She's another character who gets cloned quite a bit, like throughout the series. The stern Russian, like, you must follow my orders or you will be terminated.
Ah, yes. Send in the clones!
Send in the fermats.
I need to watch those films again at
Now,
some point.
it's kind of subtly implied in the film But in the book, her character is a full-on lesbian.
Oh, right.
Because Ian Fleming thought that lesbians were funny.
We're funny.
He just had a weird, like, outsider fascination with homosexuality. Like you always got the grasp that he couldn't quite grasp it.
Mm.
You're a fine-looking girl. Sit down.
Like things like that in the film subtly hint that she might be a lesbian, but in the book it's overtly stated.
All right. What does she just say? I like boobs.
Yeah, that's the line in the book. Yeah.
I think boobies are great.
I like boobs," said Rosa Klebb coldly.
Coldly.
I like boobs.
I like boobs. Boobies are nice.
You are not in love?
I suppose it would depend on the man.
Sensible answer. This man, for instance.
I cannot tell. Perhaps if he was kind and good toward me.
I'm good with animals.
I have selected you for
Go see Wicked with me.
If he's good with spiders, that's the only thing that matters.
Now, we mentioned spiders approximately 245 times in the last commentary. I'll try and keep it down to just 170 this time.
And if I refuse?
then you will not leave this room alive.
Love her bluntness. Then I'll just fucking shoot you.
Then you'll be shot at point blank and fed to the
Who do you
dogs.
think you are? I'm the one wearing the military uniform. You're just some bird.
Now get undressed.
This is classified far above his level.
I will say nothing to
If
anyone.
you do, you will be shot.
Oh.
Come, my
Like extremely loud dub of the whip.
Ugh.
fortunate
I can feel myself jumping in the theatre seat.
That's what I love about these early 60s films. Every punch is dubbed so dramatically.
And so much louder than it should be.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Sharda,
Russia. That's the title song.
What did you say?
And look, there's Sylvia.
back again.
I couldn't agree with him more.
I wonder if Bond ever told her about those two women he had copious sex with in Jamaica.
No, never got mentioned. Don't mention it, don't bring it up.
Souvenir from another jealous woman.
Yes, as a matter of fact. Oh.
Turned my back on one since.
See, at least Bond's a love hound, but at least he admits it.
Yeah,
Yes, I banged her, and I'd do it again.
I did the banging. She
I'm doing
did...
it. I'm doing it right now.
What's going on?
I have to make a phone call.
We haven't eaten.
I have to make a phone call. I'll be back in a month.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing shorts. I've always wanted to have that line in something.
Phone here. Over.
He's been asking for you all morning. Where in the world are you, Jay?
We didn't talk about Moneypenny in the last one.
No, we didn't.
She's played by Lois Maxwell,
Yeah, she seems nice.
who is like, I think she has the record of like she's been in the most Bond films.
Oh, right.
Either her or Desmond Llewellyn, who plays Q.
I like the fact that she doesn't really take Bond shit very much. He'll throw it out, but she'll be like, "Yeah, I know what you're like,"
Well, that's like
but in a charming way.
She always said that the way she played Moneypenny was that Bond and her had some kind of tryst many years ago.
Mm.
They agreed that to just keep things professional and stay friends, but they do have a kind of flirty banter about them.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, nailed it. Take 60.
Only took you 40 hours, you prick.
It's all right. I'll come back in.
I've been standing here holding this file like a cunt for ages. Bernard Lee, face approximately 2% redder than the previous film.
Oh wow.
And there's Desmond Llewellyn as Q.
Oh, nice.
Where he's been all day.
This is his first appearance. A lot of firsts.
Ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy.
I like to think that during the remastering process for this, they realised that they'd accidentally colour corrected his face back down to a normal shade. So they had to go back, like what they did with Citizen Kane, where they cleaned up the newsreel footage too much.
Yeah.
And the bait is a cipher machine, a brand new Lector.
Lecter, no less.
Lector.
CIA's been after one of those for years.
Yes,
Nice.
when she contacted Karen Bay, head of Station T Turkey,
Why are the drawers of his desk on the wrong side?
she said she'd turn it over to
Well, he's probably got drawers on the other side too. The less important stuff's in those drawers, I assume.
Oh, bag of Smarties. Photo of the wife.
Bag of Smarties would be quite important.
No, he's got a bag of Revels on the other side.
He's sat in that gloomy old office all day.
Pack fags, gun.
So basically, the master plan of this one is that Spectre is going to lure Bond in to steal this thing called a Lecter, which is a decoding device.
Right.
Once he's got it, they're going to kill him and steal the Lecter.
Okay.
And Bond and MI5 basically know it's a trap, but they're like, he's basically saying to Bond, you should go anyway, because we want that Lecter.
All right.
And Spectre want Bond to do it because they want revenge for the death of Metal Machine Man.
Oh, Metal Mickey.
Yeah.
Of the aluminum monster.
So there's Q.
Oh, nice.
Except he isn't called Q in this one, he's called Major Boothroyd.
Oh.
And we get Bond's magic briefcase.
Oh, I can't feed that.
It won't be till the next film where we go full on Bing Bam Bozo with the gadgets.
Can you imagine if
Saying
the
that though, I think you could buy like a toy of that briefcase with like the fake gun poking out and the knife and everything.
Nice.
Inside are 50 gold sovereigns, 25 in either side.
The currency of England. The currency of the world.
An ordinary tin of talcum powder. Inside
Is a hand grenade.
Yes, you're right, it's explosive.
Really?
Yeah.
It's magnetized, so it won't fall. Shut the case.
Wow.
Now, normally to open a case like that, you move the catches to the side. If you do, the cartridge will explode in your face. Now, to stop the cartridge exploding, turn the catches horizontally, like that.
Oh, here's something quite funny. When they first showed this, the test like edit of this to Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman, the editor Peter Hunt played a joke where when it cuts to that bit where it's like you turn it horizontally and then open, and he cut to the explosion from Dr. No at the end. It's like you turn it so.
Oh, one more thing, 007. Forgot your extra ingredient. Opium.
Is this to lure the Spectre agents with? No, just to pass the time.
Those train trips can get pretty long out there. You'll need something to amuse yourself.
Raw opium.
Yes.
Not even heroin, just raw opium.
Just a brick. Brick of opium and a nudie mag. That'll keep him good for a while.
Imagine if this happened in a modern work environment. If I rubbed my face against a secretary.
Oh! He doesn't ask her to make the tea at any point, does he? Pat on the bottom.
He does pat her arse.
Oh,
sure.
dear.
It's 1963, it was legal.
Was that why they passed the Secretaries Act?
Yeah, they call it the Moneypenny Act.
Yeah. Ah, he wrote the thing.
And the Moneypenny looks at it, he's like, he's wrote a View to a Kill on this. Is he going to take her out? Pan Am Airlines. And that's the same stock footage that was in Dr. No.
That is not a window.
That was the exact same footage of air traffic controllers that they used in Dr. No.
It looks like the same airport as well.
Bond just goes to the same airport. He goes to some magic airport that's like all locations.
All locations are the same airport. What's Blakey doing on this holiday?
Blakey.
Look at him, he's there.
Can Bond go anywhere without a man in a big moustache following him?
No, that's the way it works, unfortunately. In fact, it's literally noted as soon as he crosses into airport security, they have to send the big mustachioed man out after him. Bond gets in the car goes on the road, our road.
They suggested that you see him before going to the hotel, sir. Would that be convenient? Fine.
I see why not. Oh, so they're literally doing the car chase bit again from Doctor No.
Not quite.
But there was a cut there. I don't know if you spotted it.
It's not quite the same.
There's that rear projection again.
Oh, yes, sir. Today it's Citroen H31854 on duty. They are Bulgarians working for the Russians. They follow us, we follow them. It's a sort of understanding we have. It's very friendly.
All spies are all mates, I guess.
Oh.
Fuck pigeons.
There's that really weird reverb on the pigeons again.
I think that's just the quality of sound location recording at the time, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Foley work.
It's one of those.
Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, and Constantinople been a long time gone in Constantinople, and Dan is going to get a copyright strike.
If I knew the reference, I'd be there with it.
They Might Be Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not as well versed with them as you might think. Them and Zappa have been on my list for ages.
You know quite a few of their songs.
I know The Sun is a Massive Incandescent Gas, I know Birdhouse in Your Soul, I know...
Anna Eng.
Yeah.
Karen Bay. That actor, Pedro Almenarez, I think you say his last name, he died during production
Really?
of this film.
Is it his direct involvement in this, or...?
No, he had cancer.
Oh, I was going to say.
He didn't like die in like an accident or something.
He fell onto one of the missiles that launched or something, yeah.
No, he had cancer and he died like suddenly while they were filming it.
Oh. Why the random picture of Churchill?
Because he likes to smoke copious amounts too.
Oh. It's good.
Biggest family payroll in Turkey. Not bad for a man who started life breaking chains and bending bars with his teeth in a circus. But let's talk about this business of yours.
Well, Em thinks I'm wasting my time here.
And so do I. This is an old friend of mine, and it tells me something smells.
Maybe.
That'll be all the cigarette smoke.
That's why I smoke so much.
Kills that right away.
She said she would make her own arrangements. We'll just have to wait.
Big sets again.
My friend, if you really want my advice, you should spend a few pleasant days with us here in Istanbul. Then go home.
And that's the whole film.
Wow.
It's just Bond and Karen Bay just shagging around.
Sounds like a reasonable holiday.
Just a nice little shagging holiday in Istanbul.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable. Shut up.
James Bond, you have a reservation for me.
Mr. Bond, your room is ready.
Thank you. And tell me you've got one of those proper toilets in there. The last one I went into just had one of those weird sink things. The shit wouldn't go down the plug.
Got a big enough wardrobe for me to put a hair on.
First things first, check for spiders.
This always makes me laugh because the Bond theme's playing this exciting music and all Bond's doing is checking into his room.
Well, like I say, it's because he's checking for spiders to make sure that there's nothing in there that can get him this time.
Bath, check. Toilet, check. Random painting, check.
Weird sink thing to poo in, got it.
Floor, check. Walls, check.
Door. Candelabra. Random painting. No, yes, the room is clear. No spiders for me this
You get the
time.
vibe that like someone just left the soundtrack on a CD player running.
There was an editor who accidentally dubbed it onto the master tape and then they couldn't take it off.
Well, it's not as bad as when they left California Girls on there.
Yeah. Oh, there was a bug behind that painting.
A bug? A spider?
No, that's an arachnid.
I like how we've given up doing an accurate voice of Sean Connery.
No, just doing New York gangster.
Just talking a slight funny lisp.
Sounds a bit like a cross between Al Capone and the West Country. He'd be really annoyed if that magnetic talcum powder accidentally got stuck to the top of the briefcase whilst he was throwing it around in the back of the car.
Fucking Q.
Room service?
Mr. Bond here.
My phone keeps making a fuzzy noise.
The bug in my phone isn't working. Could you send up a new one, please?
I'm sorry, sir. That's all we have available, except the bridal suite.
Well, let's have a look at it. I may like it.
The porter will show it to you. He will be up immediately.
Is the bellboy played by Steve Buscemi?
Yes.
Hey guys, I just came to get your bags.
What film are you referencing there?
Don't know. He plays a bellboy in one of them, I'm pretty sure.
In one of them?
I'm pretty sure
What do you mean one of them? Like one of them films?
One of them films?
One of them films they have now?
Yeah, those modern films.
I wonder what you meant by one of them.
One of them modern cinematographs.
You know what you're thinking of?
Go on.
He plays a bellboy in Barton Fink.
That'll be the one.
Yeah. But he doesn't do much in that. It's just like it's just a cameo. I think he's only in one scene.
Mm. David Hasselhoff.
Who can the Russians suspect but the British? The Cold War in Istanbul will not remain cold very much longer.
Nice cine.
Yeah, they do a good job of making their locations pop out.
Mm.
And you wanted them to double this for Russia, which would have been quite difficult.
Well, you have hot Russian days.
You also don't have large mosques all over the shop either.
Well, okay.
That roughly translates to put your thing in my vagina.
I want tummy bananas.
You're not glad to see me this morning, sir?
Overjoyed.
No.
I've decided to just speak in English for the purposes of this scene.
I have just remembered this film's audience is predominantly English white.
It's not like this film's the only film guilty of that. That's like every other film with foreign characters.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I like how I've just remembered I enjoy having sexual intercourse.
Oh no, the Wicked Witch of the West has just burst in. Clearly because of those purple lights to illustrate an explosion.
I'll get you, Karen Bay. And your hot mistress too.
I'll get you, Bond, and your little suitcase too.
There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
Time to catch me at my desk. What by good fortune, I was relaxing on the settee for a few moments.
They tried to kill me, but sex saved my life.
And not for the first time, right, viewers?
Not for the first time, right, kids?
Hubba, hubba.
I think my visit might have something to do with it. Let's try and find out.
Please enter my secret Istanbul lair.
That's kind of what it is.
It literally is that.
He doesn't say that exact line. My secret Istanbul lair.
Thank you, it's very mouldy.
But those are filmed in real, like, Istanbul sewers.
Nice. Imagine it smells a bit.
And the production crew had to put up with, like, rats everywhere and sewage and, yeah. But they do look pretty neat, though.
They look pretty, but why would they make the sewers so nice? Oh.
Leeches.
Scum. Sharda has gone down market. There's a lot of ferrying going on in this film.
Oh, yeah.
My daily exercise. At 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon.
You do not ferry in this place every day at 11 in the morning and 3 in the
Karen
afternoon.
Bay can do what he wants. He's cool as fuck. He has a tash.
He doesn't, though. There's no way anybody would put up with
He evidently
ferrying.
does have a tash, though.
Well, not for long. Because he would be dead. Unusually cruel.
That was mean. You're a meanie.
Probably just a skeleton now.
He's not going. He's not cycling anywhere now because
he's dead.
He's in a grave.
Check it out, Bond. Underground periscope.
Friends who were turned out by the Public Works Ministry conducted a survey. The story was that the heavy traffic was shaking the foundations. By the time the place was declared safe, I had this installed.
I can see everything M said about you is right.
Oh, why I stay in this mad business?
Though it could be that you find selling rugs a bore.
My friend, you should be a mind reader. Head of the table is General Vasily.
I like to picture there's like a cut where all three of them just look at the thing, and then it cuts to it, and it's like obviously sticking out of the floor.
Just a clear periscope, just like it's even got like comedy googly eyes just on the top of it.
Yeah. Now, gentlemen, our secret plan to get the Russians.
Hang on a moment.
What is that? What is that?
Oh, nothing.
I think they've spotted me, Mr. Bond.
I think they spotted. They're all like literally huddled around it, looking.
It's literally just protruding from the ground.
I like to think that periscope pops up in the set of a pair of eyes of a painting.
Other Bulgaria leaves as a killer. Just the man for the liquid mine job. I've had trouble with him before. But he stayed out of Istanbul for over a year now. Take a look. You should remember him. This man kills for pleasure.
Well, so do you, Bond.
Well, I have a license to kill, so
I'm allowed.
I'm legally allowed to kill people.
She's the only one who's allowed to. How does she look to you?
Well, from this angle, things are shaping up nicely.
Oh, Bond. Our favourite misogynist.
Wonderful. That was cheap. That was cheap even for Bond. I'm going to be honest.
Well, to be fair, Bond always has to come up with some double entendre. He never just goes, oh, she's well fit.
Oh, he could have done anything. Could have looked through it and gone, Das Vidania, comrade.
I'd like to have sexual intercourse with her.
Why are we slowly turning into Wayland Smithers?
No, I mean, just like, well, how does it look, Mr. Bond? Nice tits.
Looks like she's got a cold front. Anything would have been better.
Did you write this film? Are you Richard Maybaum?
Yes. Ask me anything. Don't forget to hit that like button.
You like my gypsy friends?
No, they keep attacking me at fairgrounds.
They wear black leather jackets. They can somehow walk across water to find me in spooky hotels.
Which I find most inappropriate.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention this because I wanted you to be surprised by it, but yeah, there's a whole bit in a gypsy camp now.
Oh, great. Just
now that we've got the Bloody New Year reference out the way.
Oh, the contractual one. I'm actually quite amazed that we watched the entirety of Doctor No and we didn't make a Bikini Model Academy reference.
What, because of Ursula Andress?
Yeah.
Because she also wears bikini.
Yeah. We can save that one for Die Another Day.
We take a little diversion now from Cold War politics to bring you some women having a fight.
Brilliant! Hang on, didn't you say that hell was people eating with their fingers?
According to my primary school headmaster, yeah.
Sounds good.
Hell is an empty room with a chair in it, which is basically which describes my work.
Is she the one who gets into the fight?
Yeah, it's basically that these two women are in love with the same man, and they have to fight.
Knife fight?
Yeah, full on stabbing.
Good.
Get away from him, you cow!
Hands off my man! Slash. Tequila.
Ben and Dan go silent for the belly dance scene.
Slight leg adjustment, Australian.
She's very talented, isn't she?
She has got a lot of talent.
What's that line that Brigadier says in Planet of the Spiders?
I can't remember. Like I say, all I remember is that bit where he sort of adjusts his legs slightly. And
It's like, I've got an erection now, Doctor.
Doctor, my tummy's gone funny.
I say, Doctor, she's well fit, isn't she?
I say, Doctor, 10 out of 10.
John Pertwee would not be impressed with any of this.
No, because he lived it, so...
Madam, put some clothes on.
My good great balls of fire, man. What are you doing?
You strumpet.
I tell you, you've got more respect than that. Put your clothes on and get back to the Hoomobile. Doctor in distress.
I've got work that he's doing in the unit laboratory. I need someone to pass me my test tubes.
And tell me how brilliant I am.
That's nothing, I can do that.
So that's the obligatory Doctor Who reference.
I could do that.
I do that.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah?
As we speak, aren't I?
Yeah.
How good am I doing, Dan?
I've been doing it since we started Doctor Now.
You do look very good in that outfit, I must say.
Thank you. I did my hair specially for you because I knew you were coming. I know, you see, you'd think Bond would be attracted, but she's a foreigner, so...
No, he's just being Mr... You know, Mr... I'll just suss you out first.
Play it cool.
Yeah.
He's actually been a reporter.
I wouldn't sleep with those dirty pikeys.
You're going to have to make me bleep so much of this.
It's not me being a horrible xenophobe, it's Bond.
Oh, okay, I'll leave that one in then.
Oh, no, it's these two I'm going to have to scrap.
Oh, great. Which man are they fighting over? Did they make it clear, or...?
No. This has no bearing on sort of the overall plot of the film. This is just some...
Well, no, I was just wondering which man in the village was good enough that somebody deserved to fight to the death over him.
It was me.
Oh. Okay, I can understand that. Are they browned up a little bit?
I don't know. I don't think they are, no. Might just be how they're lit.
They just looked a little bit more tanned than, you know.
They might be slightly, but not to a stupid level.
No. Okay, I'll let that slide.
See, Bond films are very considerate. They take the time to have a nice little lady fight.
Just have a gypsy fight in the middle of...
Yeah. In the middle of the Ipcris file.
Yeah.
It'd be like if Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy suddenly cut to a Duran Duran video.
I think I'd be
Girls on film.
They probably have customs that are different than our own. Unfortunately, this is a regular sight in the north.
Not that I've ever seen my Big Fat Gypsy whatever on Channel 4, but I don't imagine this happens often.
Every week. Every damn week. I take it the budget was a bit bigger for this one.
It was more than $1 million.
Get 'em, boys! Burn 'em to the ground! Who attacks somebody with throwing knives whilst running at them?
Why not?
Well, you've got to stand still to throw throwing knives so you can aim them. Otherwise, you just...
You don't have to stand still.
Well, you don't have to, but you're not going to hit anybody if you're running with a throwing knife.
What made you such an expert on throwing knives?
I was a throwing knife.
I like that. Look, you can see him put his own fake blood on.
Oh, wow.
You can see him like dabbing it on.
And they were having such a great time at the gypsy camp watching people fight.
Yeah, don't you hate it when you're watching two ladies fighting and suddenly a load of Bulgarian mercenaries turn up and start
and burn the village down
on fire?
Yeah.
I like how I said before this one's a bit more subdued.
Yeah.
Cut to Gypsy War.
Cut to Bulgarian gypsy fight. Which, funnily enough, is the title of my next film.
It was the working title of this script.
I think it would have been more accurate. From Russia with Love sounds a bit delicate. This is Bulgarian Gypsy Fight, the movie.
Yeah, but the film Brazil isn't set in Brazil.
Well, yeah, but I have that's a separate issue for Terry Gilliam. I'll call him out on it too. I'll call anyone out. I'm made of strong stuff, me.
He seemed to do that so casually.
In you go.
Well, in you go, lads.
Surf's up. Oh, tell me Sean Connery has said surf's up at least once.
I not in these films. He might have said it in his life.
Oh, I want him to say surf's up.
At what point would he say it?
Maybe if he was like watching a giant wave wash a bad guy away. Or
no, Sean Connery's not in Die Another Day.
Or maybe like he was on a boat and he pushed somebody into the water. Or, you know.
Was surf's up? Did that even exist as a phrase by this point?
I think it might have.
Probably.
It's all right, Bond. I've saved the wine.
I am nothing but a clumsy old man.
No, you're also senile. Comes to something, doesn't it, when the Bulgarian Secret Service get taken down by a load of gypsies and a half-drunk James Bond.
James Bond's always half drunk though, so it doesn't count.
Oh.
He's permanently in a state of alcoholic stasis.
License to lush.
I love that delivery. He thanks you for saving his life. You are now his son. What? Come with me.
To the village. He says he wants a dowry.
He says your heart is too soft to be a real gypsy. But he lets you decide the matter. As if I didn't have enough problems.
So now Bond gets to bonk the two women.
Oh, brilliant.
Because that's just how it works.
And of course, how could he refuse?
Karen Bay's behind her going, twins. Twins, mate.
Well, well.
Why just live here now?
I thought I'd be bored out here.
Seems alright.
Yes. Have they done a Bond film yet?
Do I get my own horse?
Yes. I want my own horse.
I run my own horse. I'll call him Eddie.
And do I get my own spider? Have they ever done a Bond film where one of Bond's love children come back to try and kill him?
No, they have not.
Will they ever do that? I hope they would. It seems like a good plot.
When they eventually run out of ideas, I'm sure they will do something like that.
The love child of James Bond comes out and tries to kill his dad. And it's not really his dad because it's just a title.
Bond must have fathered thousands of children.
Oh yeah. Well, it's back from the days before decent contraceptives. So.
And there's a poster for the Bob Hope film, the Bob Hope vehicle Call Me Buona, which was also produced by Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman, who produced this.
Any good?
I've never seen it.
Oh.
I'm not the world's biggest Bob Hope aficionado.
I don't think many people are. That's a rubbish gun.
You say that, but what do you know about guns?
It's a brilliant gun.
You say that, but what do you know about guns? It might be a great gun.
It was just a pistol with a bigger handle on it.
Infrared lens.
That's not infrared, that's just red.
What's the difference?
Infra means you can see the heat signals coming off stuff. But that's just a red lens.
Well, maybe it's a very cold night, Dan.
It's not a cold night in Istanbul. That's a better title than From Russia With Love, A Cold Night in Istanbul.
No, that doesn't roll off the tongue. From Russia With Love sounds sleek and urbane and sexy.
And is also factually inaccurate.
I'll take them out too.
Dead. Haha.
I have a license to kill, motherfucker.
Sean Connery from Russia
I
With Love.
should do right now. Nothing will happen to me.
I could kill them both.
Everything will happen to you, aka death.
I could teabag them. Wouldn't do shit.
Shoot Anita Ekberg.
Lovely mouth, that Anita. Harm or no harm, I have to pull that trigger.
You think you can? You got one shot, remember?
It'll have to do.
See, when I built this, when I put the poster up, I remembered to put the window exactly where her mouth was to create a pleasing cinematic moment.
Charming. My favourite bit was when he climbed out her mouth.
She should have kept her mouth shut.
Oh!
Yeah, boy.
That was painful.
No, it wasn't. It was good.
It was rubbish and
It was
painful.
good. She should have kept her mouth shut.
Oh!
Do you get it? Because he climbed out of her mouth.
He climbed out of her mouth, which is a
In the
sentence I
poster.
wouldn't... Potential They Might Be Giants lyrics. Oh, shit.
One day I will forget to do that.
It seems like such a precarious thing to do.
I'd forget.
Yeah. I'd have had it the other way round.
I don't know how to open, like, a holiday suitcase, never mind a briefcase.
I'd have had it the other way round, so just opening the clasps normally opens it, but if he turns them horizontally and then opens them, then it explodes, rather than going through the... If you open it normally, it explodes.
Maybe a voice command. Like, every time he doesn't want it to blow up, he says, "Don't blow up."
Don't blow up suitcase.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a bath. Be lovely. Just check the tub for spiders. No, nothing there.
Extremely hot water.
Mm.
Takes my bath about 5 minutes to get that much steam.
Well, it's Istanbul, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's true. Now, here's something that has often bugged me. Bond hears a noise. He gets his gun, he's going to go suss it out. The bath's still running.
Yes. Oh. There's a lady.
Mm.
Saw a bit of a bum there.
Now his bath's still running.
Yes.
I want to see the scene where he gets the bill from the hotel the next morning.
Why does he not go back to it?
Nope.
About 6:30 in the morning to get a phone call. Boss! The ceiling has collapsed!
Mr. Bond, we are bankrupt!
There's scalding water everywhere!
You have ruined us! You've ruined my family!
Get out! Out of my hotel!
She really knows how to wear a black choker.
Wow, she does.
You're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen.
Well, his girlfriend's going to be pissed off.
This is the scene that they always use to audition new Bond girl actresses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it here? The decoding machine, Lecter.
Must we talk about it now?
Yes, we should. In fact, no Rampo until you tell me.
You don't mind if I just go and turn my bath off for you? It's getting a bit, it's on a meter.
It's going to start spilling over. I have an explosive suitcase in my room. It could get very wet.
Why don't you ask me that later? Now what are you looking for?
You see, I know all about you.
Well, that's slightly creepy, but okay. I'm still into it.
Bit weird, but alright.
All right.
Do you like how our version of Bond is basically Archer? It'll be weird, but okay.
Weird flex, but okay. That's perverted.
She's filming it for her own personal use.
Is what, she Dennis Reynolds?
Rosa Klebb, an erotic life.
For the record, I'm onto the Sprite now, pretty heavy.
I think you'll find it's pronounced Sprit.
Ah, the sprite.
interesting corner of sea so far, including these two great red porphyry columns stolen and brought from Egypt. In front of them, alabaster urn was brought from Pergamum, a
He looks familiar.
historical city near Smyrna.
Yes, because it's James Bond.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was... I thought it was...
Yes, because it's Secret Agent James Bond, who is the main protagonist of the film.
I thought it was... what's his name from Doctor No? Felix.
No, Felix isn't in this one.
Because he looked very similar from a distance.
Felix ain't in this one.
Nah. Well, I'm glad we got to know each other better last night, but could you finally return my pants?
I'll send you that water bill in the morning.
I've been going...
That was kind of your fault. You led me on.
It was your fault, after all. The bill was over £600. I'm currently commando. Left my pants in the bathroom.
Well, he is Commander Bond.
Ah.
So he would... It makes sense he would be Commando pantsless.
Never wear them. Always get caught up.
Well, you never know, and you need to have a quick one.
Just holds up the act, you know.
I mean, we can have sex right now if you want. Right in the mosque.
One zip does the trick.
We might get a fatwa put on us, but it'd be worth it.
He's a lover. No, mine. Oh, he's dressing like him now as well, okay. Not weird at all. Maybe he did. He wasn't in like late 50s, early 60s.
Bond, I have the... Oh, my heart.
You have the what? You have the what? You have your heart? I don't know what he means. All he's included is these diagrams, a full breakdown of the room that I need to be in, and he said something about his heart.
He's given me the walkthrough for the game, Karen Bay.
He's given me
They did release this as a video game on the PS2.
Oh,
the
yeah.
PS3.
Yeah.
And they actually got Sean Connery back in to do the voice.
Really?
Yep. They got Sean Connery and his 80-year-old jowls to voice Bond.
I can't see how they'd make a video... Well, I can see how they'd make a video game.
They
out of
obviously
it,
video gamed it up a bit. Made it a bit more action-packed.
but out of all of the Bond films you could make a video game out of. I mean...
I'm not sure. I guess I'm not sure why they chose From Russia With Love. I guess because they turned it into like an espionage thing. They had to like go to people and like ask questions. It wasn't like some of the other games like GoldenEye or Nightfire or something like that.
Mm.
But yeah, they got Connery back in to do his own voice.
Oh.
Which I guess you could say that would be the last time he portrayed Bond. If that counts.
I have to say we should get him back for just some random student film.
Maybe he could join us on one of these. I'm sure he'd love
That'd be good. Sean Connery, if you are listening and you want to be on the Comedy Dining Experience, let us know. You could probably do one of your films.
I know you've said repeatedly that you're quite sick of talking about James Bond and you'd rather just leave it in the past, but what if you weren't?
Lord knows we don't talk about Bond on these commentaries.
Yeah, Connery distanced himself from Bond after the fact.
Mm.
He sort of took a William Hartnell, not quite a William Hartnell view. He didn't. He never said he hated Bond. I think it was just because it typecast him so much.
Mm. And kind of set him into a particular thing. But then again, all the films he's done that haven't been Bond related have been a bit odd.
He was very good in Time Bandits.
He was in Zardos.
Yes, he was in Zardos. Who can forget? But he was good in Time Bandits. He played a Roman gladiator.
He was in there was one film I saw him in quite recently that, let me find it.
The Rock.
No, it was an animated film.
Dragonheart?
1 second, it'll come up. Yes, he was in a film called Sir Billy.
Never seen it.
It's awful. It was screened to a room of 12 people.
Were you one of those 12 people?
All of them said it was terrible.
Keep it technical. Self-calibrating our manual.
With an inbuilt compensator, James, couldn't we?
That's bad bat projection. That's all right.
But they actually seem to have filmed her. That's not back projection with her. They just seem to have filmed her against the boat.
Oh, must have.
He's back projected.
They must have had to do reshoots.
There's a funny bit coming up here. Yeah.
Day and night.
Once, when it was being prepared, I saw the insides. There were many perforated discs, made, I think, of copper, with a small light. Dushka, tell me the truth. Am I as exciting as all those Western girls?
Oh, once when I was with Anne in Tokyo, we had an interesting experience.
That's quite enough of that.
I always liked that. I always want to know what Bond and them got up to in Tokyo.
Later.
They basically just had a lads holiday.
Yeah. We like to drink with M, because M is on me.
These Japanese guys are fucking insane, aren't they?
I don't know what this sake shit is, but I've had 5 bottles and I'm ready for a fight.
M's like the rugby player on a lads holiday who's like got his shirt ripped and he's like, come on then. Come on then.
I've got a briefcase that can explode. I've got a pen that'll kill you.
Calm down, mate. Calm down. It's not worth it.
No, I've got this pen, right? I click it once and I can stab you.
Here's your pipe. Calm down.
All right. I love you, Bond. Come on, mate.
Bond, I'm so sorry.
Just make me feel
I'm
good.
so sorry.
I wanted to be Bond at least once.
Why was I M? Why couldn't I be K or
Could
L?
have been any of them. I could have had a double O.
Could be any of the letters. N, Z, C.
Hey, Bond, watch this. Pow!
M's secretly jealous of Bond.
Oh, there's a woman. Come here. I'm Bond. Sexy Bond. Well, there goes the bath.
That was Bond's walk. That was Bond's bath.
Yeah.
That was still running 3 days later.
Yeah. Got to save all my records.
This is a cool piece of music that gets played through most of the films.
Yes, it's very action-packed.
It's called 007, in case you're wondering.
Ah. Wow.
Here, take this. It's only tear gas.
I thought it was for tomorrow.
Here, take this. It's only ammonia and bleach. I'm fine being out in this.
Come on, quickly.
I take it that was the Russian embassy that got attacked.
Yeah, they're nicking the Lector.
Right.
That pesky Lector.
Rats!
Oh.
Oh. What are these?
Look out, stock footage of rats.
Watch out, tailed spiders.
Look out for the stock footage.
To be fair, you could run through them, it wouldn't cause a problem.
Yeah, but
Bond's just being a bit of a wimp.
Yes, but it'd be icky.
I don't want any tailed spiders touching me.
They're rats. They might have diseases.
No, only if they bit you, and even then, you can get a cure for it relatively quickly. It's not like we're dealing with Black Death type stuff now.
Careful, Titania. You might get the Black Death.
But it's alright, we can cure you in 2 to 3 days. Oh, somebody's using one of those Ronco record cleaners.
What's the matter? Ends, Russian security man.
Come on, never mind.
Oh, trouble brewing.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, double trouble.
Make it double.
Here's one of them, and there's the other one.
Ah, finally time to have a good shit.
Your passports. The pictures do not do you justice. I have rarely seen a handsomer couple. Mr. and Mrs. David Somerset. Your name's Caroline.
Caroline. I like that name.
You're accompanying me on a business trip on the way back to Derbyshire.
She's saying stuff that the dub didn't catch up with. Did you see that?
Yeah. Deirdre, I like that name.
So I heard. Tanya.
Yes?
Keep the door locked. I'll knock 3 times.
Okay.
I'll go see the conductor now.
You're sure he'll cooperate?
Oh, we've done business before. He'll stop the train near the Bulgarian frontier where my sons will be waiting with a car.
We'll be there about 6 o'clock. And the airstrip? 20 miles.
The plane is chartered to Athens. We'll be in London tomorrow morning.
We'll drink that in London.
Excellent.
I'm not sure why they hold on that shot of that woman. She never comes back.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
That was just a shot of a woman.
Oh.
Really on our way to England.
I am. Immigration won't have you, sorry. Don't like Ruskies. Sorry. Bye-bye.
Your trousseau.
James.
One moment.
Let me just turn the back projection off.
Now we're in space.
Oh! Space train.
Oh no. James. Jen. Oh look.
I'm a girl, so you brought me dresses. I love dresses because I'm a girl.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's lovely.
That's what girls like, right? They like dresses.
I like dresses and makeup and cuddly clouds.
This is a nice line.
In Piccadilly.
You won't. They've just passed some new laws there.
I can't think of a scenario where you would wear that dress to any function. It's not formal enough for formal wear. You wouldn't wear it to Woolies. So
If you were a woman in a Bond film, you'd wear that dress.
for about 10 seconds.
Huh?
Before James has his chance.
James has his way with you.
Yeah, and then you're not wearing any clothes. Shivering, cold, alone. Bond's gone.
Let's go to the restaurant car, James, for
Sad times.
Surely. We'll continue the fashion show.
Stop hitting on my bird, Karen.
Oh, but Bond, you've got 4 birds already. Tough titties.
Bond, you've shagged like 4 girls in this film already.
Tough titties.
Let
She's
Karen,
mine.
let Karen Bay have some action, eh?
No, I want this one. This one's mine.
Time to contact the consulate before he boarded.
Perhaps you'd like me to introduce you.
See, don't get me wrong, I'm liking Connery in terms of his dour sarcasm and dryness in places.
Yeah.
But that
he delivers it the humour very dry, doesn't he?
But the slightly misogynistic angle is very hard to shake.
That's just Bond.
No
getting around that.
I know, but different Bonds do different things. Like,
yeah, Roger was a little nicer with women.
Yeah. Pierce is relatively nice with women to a point.
Yeah.
But Sean's just like, I like tits. You're a woman? Hey?
Good.
You want to spend a night with me?
You're a woman? Good. You're 90% there.
You want to come spend the night with me? Excellent.
She didn't say anything, by the way.
Just grabbed her.
I've had a particularly fascinating life. Would you like to hear about it?
No.
I like this. I like to think it cuts back to him. And then one time when me and Bond were in Tokyo, we had an interesting... Oh, there you are.
Ripped my shirt
I
open.
should have done that. That would have been funny.
Well, girls don't change, eh?
You like?
Does rather suit.
I will save everything else for England.
It is 4 o'clock, you know.
This is not good for me in the afternoon. Even on the honeymoon. Then I will take it off.
Oh.
I think we are talking at cross purposes again.
I feel sorry for that cameraman.
That's a good... We'll just cut to some train wheels for a good sex metaphor.
But there was no health and safety there, so that cameraman was literally probably being held by his ankles outside of that train.
I imagine that would have probably been stock footage of some kind, I imagine.
I still feel sorry for whichever cameraman was forced to hang out of a train window with a camera.
They have like special jobs for that, don't they? Like there's like usually like 1 or 2 cameramen in the world who like know how to shoot train wheels or something like that.
Sort of train them as a specialist field. Space.
We're in the Arctic tundra.
We're driving. It's like the Naked Gun, where the cars just turn up in random places. We're on a roller coaster. Oh, girls' bathroom. That's sped up.
No, it's not. It's just on a really fast train.
It's just a really, really fast train. So with the video game adaptation of this, was it toned down misogynistically?
I've never actually played it. I imagine it might have been.
Probably
They did. It wasn't a straight lift of the film. They really did rejig it quite a bit. And they brought in elements of the book, and they snuck in elements from other films. I think they just used the title and sort of the Turkish European setting.
Right.
I've never actually played it properly.
So all of this probably wouldn't be in the game then?
I don't know.
Yes. There's been a terrible accident. Please come with me.
Oh dear.
Later. Keep the door locked.
By the way, I think the guy who's playing the train courier then. Oh. Remember Tomb of the Cybermen?
Yes.
It's him.
Really? It's Eric Klieg?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a good position, isn't it?
You're going to see a few Doctor Who faces cropping up in Bond.
Oh, no. You never did get to tell him Tokyo.
This must be kept quiet until we're stressed. It will be difficult. I'm sure. Karen Bay was a very important man. Has many influential friends. I'm sure they also will reward you. I will try.
Never got to play as Kazoo. Yep.
Is that what it is?
No, it's a cigarello pipe. The idea is you put a cigarette in the end of it and then... It's supposed to filter it better. At least I think that's the case. You watch now, I'll have been horrifically wrong with that, and somebody will be the one person who sat
It
through
actually
it
was
to
a
this point.
kazoo.
Yeah.
That's how Karen Bay died. He blew too hard.
He gave himself an aneurysm. Dead. I like cardigans and lovely pink coats, and jackets,
Lady things.
lazy things,
Emily Howard.
and shit.
Karen's dead.
There's a little bit of unpleasantness coming up.
Oh dear.
I'll do worse than that if you don't tell me. You're doing this under orders, I know.
Oh dear.
I don't know what you mean.
Liar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even if you kill me, I can say nothing. I did not know anything like Karim's death would happen. But when we get to England, I tell you.
Go on. Tanya, maybe they didn't let you in on all of it, but whatever you do know, tell me.
I know
Her hair's fixed itself pretty quickly.
Just tell me.
I love you, it's true.
Sure.
He's a bastard.
Train guard, can I have a new cabin? This one reeks of women.
This one reeks of domestic violence.
This one reeks of lying women. That was a really frosty train trip. He spent the rest of it just sort of staring out the window, not talking to anyone.
We're not done on the train yet.
What, this is still going?
Yeah.
Is this how the rest of the film plays out? Because there's only about half an hour left.
That's how a good chunk of the film plays out.
Ah. He's doing that mirrored image thing.
There's some very Hitchcockian touches in this whole train sequence.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the next time we see him he's dyed his hair black as well. He's just there with the fag.
Are you saying Grant's like a Bond fanboy?
Yeah, he looks like it. He's starting to dress like him.
Can I borrow a match?
I use a lighter.
Better still.
Until they go wrong.
Well, that went nowhere.
No, it's they were doing passwords, weren't they?
Oh, right.
That's why they said that.
Ah.
Your father's dead.
Who did it?
Dimitri could have let himself. The other man died first. Now listen. I'll need some help to get
That was a good cigarette then.
I want you to send a
Retail value £1.99.
send someone from station Y to meet me in Zagreb, all right?
I will.
Good.
Do you reckon Bond gets paid?
Well, yeah.
Or do you reckon well, no, or
He
do you
doesn't do it for free. He doesn't do it for free.
Well, no, what I meant to say was, do you reckon he gets paid, or do you reckon it's more of a state-funded thing? So, like, he doesn't get a paycheck at the end of the month, but he just gets a blank card that he can do whatever he wants with it.
Well, he obviously gets some kind of expenses for his round-the-world shagging trips. Shagging murder jaunts.
Shall I go shagging Tokyo, or shall I go shagging France?
No, he goes on these jaunts and goes, do I have a shag tonight or a murder tonight?
Oh, flip a coin.
Yeah. Maybe, why not both?
It's landed on its side. That's never happened before.
Why not both?
Both it is. Just charge it to Her Majesty's government.
I do a shag, then a murder.
Bond, we're really going to have to talk about your expenses. What do you mean? You spent £6 million in Tokyo last month.
On shag murder trips, and it's listed in the budget as shag murder trips.
Shag/murder trips. Well, look, I need them to be happy. Happy?
The sad thing is shag murder trips are taxpayer funded.
Yeah. The sad thing is, that's happening right now.
He's on a shag murder trip right now. I can be on a shag murder trip.
Shag Murder Trip, funnily enough, is the name of my next grunge
A
band.
shirder.
Bond, it says you've spent nearly £2 million on prophylactics. Well, a man's got to eat.
Don't be ridiculous, Em. I don't use prophylactics. As nature intended, that's what I say.
I'm Catholic.
Yeah, I think it's intentional. I know you're pointing out the stuff with Grant and Bond, but I think it's intentional to sort of show that he's like Bond's almost like dark mirror version in a way. Same thing they kind of tried to do with Scaramanga.
But isn't Sean Connery Bond's dark?
I like that. Yeah.
He's even got the hat.
Grant's the kind of person who would just casually just do a murder.
Yeah.
In a WC.
And Connery's the kind of person who would shoot somebody from behind quite happily.
Uh-oh, trouble.
Oh dear.
Nash. Captain Nash. Bond traveling to Somerset. My God. What kept you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I only got M1 an hour ago. I busted every record getting here.
That English accent is terrible.
What are you on about? It's like the kind of English accent you might do.
Yeah.
If you were a Russian agent.
Oh, hello. I am Englishman.
He's kind of playing him like
She's still there.
Well, yeah.
This is my wife, Caroline, Captain Nash.
Right.
How do you do? I'm so pleased to meet you. This way, Nash.
Oh yeah, they've got to keep up impressions, haven't they?
Yeah.
Could I get you a drink? Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred.
Yes, sometimes.
Oh, vodka. Oh, shit.
Oh no! Oh, I've been rumbled. Into the gulag for me!
You got me.
So what's our problem, sir?
Oh, I can't risk
That's probably just Robert Shaw using his real accent.
Hmm.
Trieste border.
No, stop still then.
So the problem is I can't look at him now without envisioning Quint. So it's just...
Your position now?
I'm not in any condition to worry about.
Yeah, but by the time he came around to doing Jaws, he was an old alcoholic. That's why they cast him as Quint.
It was only 15 years though.
Yeah?
No, of course not.
That being said, 15 years ago I was about 8 stone slimmer, slightly muscular, and long-haired, so...
Did you know the stories about when they recorded the Indianapolis?
Oh yeah, he
speech?
was blitzed all the way through it,
Yeah, he was blitzed, and he apparently after like they rewrote it, he did it in one take.
Wow. Yeesh. Oh.
Excuse me.
Oh, there you are, old man. I was worried something had happened to you.
Well, monsieur,
Thank you.
I have the grilled sole. What about you, Nash?
Oh dear.
And she'll have a Big Mac.
And she'll have a milkshake, some McNuggets, and an umbongo.
What flavour? Let chef decide.
And a Yorkie. Oh, blimey, you know what the missus is like, don't you? Cold shoulder and all that.
He's trying to, like, be overtly British.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, Bond, apples and pears off the chimney, and I was at Violet's funeral.
Three bags full, sir. No, more than my job's worth, innit? For a second I thought somebody was climbing up the train window from the outside then.
Bond, look out! He's a Rusky!
Oh, no!
He's slipping her a Mickey.
Oh, no. Don't mind me, I'm just going to throw my wine over my shoulder for good luck.
It's not merry old London, where I am from.
It's not merry old London, call blimey, governor, 3 times full, sir.
Whereabouts in London are you from?
Tottenhamshire Hammersmith.
Buckingham Palace Wanderers. That's a football team.
Is it?
And also a place. And also it's neither of those things.
Ladies, come over, play. Bring her in here. Mayor?
This is getting more suspect, man.
Well, he literally slipped to a Mickey.
Yeah. It's alright. She's very hot. I shall take her clothes off. You must leave us alone for about 6 hours. Not a moment later. Ooh, Suspiria lighting.
What was it? Stuff you couldn't drink. Oral hydrate. Quick but mild. And? Take it easy,
007.
He said 07.
What are you after? The girl on the left?
He's not writing English at all. Everyone knows he's 007 James Bond. Full name.
What is your plan? Explain it better on the map. All right? Now, we're here, you see? When we reach there, there's a steep gradient, the train slows down there. We'll block the line, make for that main road, pick up a car, there. A trucking route. That must be about 20 miles from there.
You idiot, 07.
07, you mong.
That's why he's not a good guy, because he's not 007, he's
Is that what you're
just
going
07.
to call him from now on?
07.
Oh, 07 of 9.
You see, this is where he's gone wrong. He should have just shot him straight away.
Well, Dan, if you keep saying that, you're going to be saying that a while in these films. You're going to be saying, why didn't they just shoot Bond? Well, then, because you wouldn't have a film. That's why.
Could have just shot him, though. Literally, he's got the gun to his head.
Well, Dr. No could have shot Bond about 20 times in the last film.
And these films are rubbish. The villains are terrible.
Yes, because in real life, as in real life espionage, if you're going to kill someone, you kill them the first chance you get.
And yeah, so you can continue being nefarious.
In real life, you stab people with umbrellas.
That's good. You infect pizza parlours.
Look at this.
All right, now, get up on your knees.
Oh, it's not. I mean, he says it in a minute.
Put your hands in your pockets. Keep them there. Red wine with fish. Well, that should have told me something.
You arrogant little upstart.
Bond is such a snob.
Oh, God.
What would you chaps and Smash call each other?
I mean, you can say what you like about Daniel Craig. At least he's kind of standardised him a bit more.
Yeah.
Of course. Spectre.
Oh.
It wasn't a Russian show at all.
Smersh were the baddies in the books,
Oh, yeah.
who we just mentioned then. But of course, they're Spectre in this.
Spectre who killed the Russian agent in the mall.
It's because in the books, Smersh were directly like a Russian organisation. Like they were linked to the KGB.
Right.
And like we were saying, I guess they wanted to make it a bit more apolitical. Like the baddies in the films are just like, they're just apolitical. They're just after world domination and all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
James Bond found out what a bloody fool he's been making of himself. We're pros, Mr. Bond. We sweated your recognition code out of one of your men in Tokyo before he died. I've been keeping tabs on you. I've been your guardian angel.
Have you been looking at my Facebook?
Saved your life at the gypsy camp. Oh, yes. I'm much obliged.
You haven't looked at any of my photos.
Keeping you alive until you could get us the lecter. So you had me delivered on a plate.
I've looked at my selfies, my likes.
I've been atting you and everything. You haven't responded.
What's that all about? Do you not like me? Or do you like me? I don't know.
I've set our relationship to it's complicated. I don't know what you are anymore. Tell you what you aren't, my friend.
Tell you what you aren't, a goodie. No, James Bond, we should bond. Bonding like friends.
We should have been bonding like friends, but instead we only bonded as enemies. I knew there was something afoot. You had red wine. Red. Communism.
Bond's a big believer in allegorical symbolism. It's like red wine. Red. Russian. Evil. Father Christmas.
Santa is a commie.
Your son. Santa Claus.
It all makes sense. He gives out presents all year round, whether you've been naughty or nice. Everyone gets the same.
He's got Bond and Titania's shagging film reel there.
Oh, nice.
He's like, I'm going to use this to blackmail you.
Are you doing any duplicates of them?
Taken in the bridal suite at your hotel. Something else the girl didn't know about. Or you.
I don't think it's going to be revolutionary news. James Bond gets his end away.
most people are like, wow, Bond had sex with a woman. Gee, that's bad.
I mean, oh no. No, this could ruin us.
This could ruin his wholesome image.
This could ruin us? This could ruin us. This could ruin us. Could this ruin us?
My orders are to kill you and deliver the lector. How I do it's my business. It'll be slow and painful. How much are they paying you? What's it to you? We'll double it. Your word of honor? As an English gentleman? The first one won't kill you. Not the second. Not even the third. Not till you crawl over here and you kiss my foot.
It's an odd request, but okay.
I think your theory about the homoerotic subtext might be true.
Yeah. Getting a bit...
steamy.
Got a little toasty in here. Woo. Good job I'm wearing shorts.
50 gold sovereigns. Where are they? Up there in my case.
This is a bad idea.
For Grant, yes.
You show me.
Womp womp.
What about a cigarette? Throw them down there. Any more in the other case?
I should imagine so. It's a standard kit.
I'll have a look. Put your hands back in your pockets.
This is tense. It's not really tense. I just thought I would say it sounds tense.
It is a tense scene.
It's tense by 1963
Bond's
standards.
tricked him. He had the gold sovereigns in the other case.
Oh, talcum powder bomb. Up we go.
This is quite the way this fight shot is quite hard hitting for a film from 1963.
Oh yeah.
Like you know, it's like shot all close and like camera not shaking about but kind of moving about quite like in. Compare it to other fight scenes from like films in *63, and this is a very much ahead of its time in a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah, no,
like,
absolutely.
The way this is shot is very much like a modern action movie would shoot a fight in a close quarters, you know.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
You've got to imagine that films that came out around about this time would consider a street fight to be, you know, positively giant. So to be able to...
Do you say that because this is the same year West Side Story came out?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say films from this time shot fight scenes like choreographed dance numbers. I want to live in America.
I want to live in America.
To be in America.
But this, yeah, no, it's certainly got a nice sense of direction about it.
Yeah, like, obviously it's not modern in the sense that the camera isn't shaking about like fuck, like you get in a modern film.
No motion blur.
Yeah. Motion blur, it's not a video game.
I know, but you know what they do when sometimes they like blur backgrounds, especially on CG sets, so that when people are sort of moving around.
But it's quite like rough, you know, for like a film of the era. Yeah, cut for that.
Yeah. Right, shove him out the window. Pun?
There'll be many Bond films that try and copy that scene. where Bond fights someone on a train, and they never top that.
The one that sticks in my mind the most was the bit at the end of Live and Let Die.
Yes.
But that one I think probably is on a par, purely for the very end.
You won't be needing this.
That's a rubbish pun.
It's not a pun. That's because Bond genuinely fucking hated Grant by the sound of it.
Yeah.
You won't be needing this, old man.
Just, he could have said something cool or quippy.
But I like that because it's like Bond seemed to genuinely despise him mainly because Grant called him an old man.
Well, in fairness, it is like 40-year-old Sean Connery.
Tanya, this is Nash's escape route. You understand? We've got to get off here. Yes. Come on.
But I am retired.
Must get to the other side of the train. Under here.
It's had a couple of very big scenes, but I do understand what you mean when you say it's a little bit more laid back than most Bond films. There's been a couple of bombastic moments, but
Yeah, but it takes the time to let the espionage breathe a bit, and there's lots of like nice little scenes of him wandering around Turkish cityscapes, just sort of like being followed.
I think in that sense, as an espionage film, this is great.
There's a big fuck off action scene coming up in a minute.
Ooh.
Not with this guy in his flower truck, but like.
I'm disappointed now.
Yeah.
1 out of 10. Not interested.
Where are you?
Oh, my piano hands. Oh. Well, if that's how you want to play it. Train ride gets kind of lonely. Yeah.
He got very excited in that fight. Gets more worked up.
He's got to work out his anger. You ever seen the film Misery? Well, this will all be new to you.
No, I haven't, because that film won't be made for several years.
That's what you think. I am Sean Connery of the future.
Come on, you dozy cow.
Stop being roofied. We've got to get home. Stop.
Stick her in the back of a truck.
You'll feel better in the morning. Come on, wake up.
How'd you drive one of these things? That car has a face. Oh, we can afford helicopter shots now.
That's not all we can afford.
Wow, they can afford to put me in this film.
And here's a little scene that almost killed Sean Connery.
Oh, brilliant.
There's a shot. I'll tell you which shot it is.
It's always good to see a good helicopter chase.
Oh yeah.
Prime straddled the truck.
Wow.
Shame about the front projection and the helicopter close-ups, but then again, I guess stuff like that can't be helped.
I mean, they could have got another smaller helicopter to sort of follow that helicopter, but... The only problem you have is when you're actually filming proper helicopter footage like that.
That shot there.
Jesus.
That nearly took Sean Connery out.
Really?
Look, did you see how close it was?
I saw it was pretty close, but...
Yeah. Apparently the blade of the helicopter was like here. It just right past his face.
God.
And it also killed the director, Terence Young.
Did it?
Because he was in the helicopter in one of the POV shots. That shot as well.
Yeah.
In one of the POV shots that they shot inside the actual helicopter, like one of these kind of shots, the helicopter crashed.
And killed him?
No, it nearly killed him.
Oh.
But it crashed into one of these hillsides.
Jeez.
With like him and a cameraman, and you have to get like emergency services to like cut them out.
Youch.
It was horrible, yeah.
I'm not doing these anymore.
Basically, this scene fucking nearly killed half the cast and crew.
Wow. And after that, they decided to get somebody who could actually fly a helicopter.
I'd tell you, Terence Young was, I'll fucking do it.
I'll do it. Yeah, sure, why not?
Terence, you ever driven a helicopter? How hard can it be? I've driven a Bentley.
I've driven cars. I can ride a bicycle.
I can walk. Yeah, one's fine.
That's right. Transferable skills.
Ooh.
Was that the accident?
Kaboom. I guess there probably wasn't much precedent for that kind of stunt, so maybe that's why there wasn't a lot of like health and safety consideration. They probably just thought, oh, well, we've got helicopter pilots. What's worse could happen?
Yeah.
It could crash and die,
and you could nearly kill 3 people,
including your lead fucking actor.
Do you reckon? That's back projection, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, that's back projection.
No,
That's definitely back projection.
No, the hillside is just
lower quality
now. I think they're still meant to be in Eastern Europe, but I think this is all shot in like
Hull.
Yeah, Devon or somewhere. It'll be shot in and around Pinewood, won't
I
it?
love the fact he got a captain's hat.
It'll be Surrey, won't it? Because it'll be shot in and around Pinewood Studios.
Yeah. First thing Bond did when he got out of the van. Right, I'm getting rid of my hat. I want a sailor's hat.
It just looks so English.
It does.
Like, I don't buy anymore that they're in, like, Bulgaria.
No.
Or Europe. It's just, like, I think we just look at those hillsides and just think...
That's England.
Yeah.
You swim? Yeah, take the wheel. This way, please.
That's a very unsettling angle.
It's a very unsettling thing to say to a man you've got in handcuffs on a boat. You swim?
Yeah.
Just isn't your day, is it?
They sped that up.
Yep.
What did they do that for?
Well, maybe Bond is just really good at pushing people off boats.
There's the Wizard of Speed and Time. He just touches him and...
I'm going to be a cunt to you now.
Pass me those flares. I'm going to let them off every half mile. Why? No reason.
Well, we've got plenty of fuel. With a bit of luck, we should be there by tomorrow morning.
Now, Dan, action movie rule number 1. When you see a shot of some oil drums, what do you think is going to happen to those oil drums?
Go blow up. Go blow up, go bang. Do they blow up, go bang? Ben, do they blow up, go bang?
You'll have to find out in the
Ben,
next exciting episode
of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But then, do they blow up, go bang? That's a different cat.
Bond is still alive. The nectar is not yet in our possession.
Just walk clean through the glass.
That would be cool.
Doesn't flinch.
Yeah.
Inspector always delivers what he promises. Our whole organization depends on our keeping those promises.
Oh.
I warn you. We do not tolerate failure number 3. You know the penalty. Yes. Our rules are very simple. If you fail...
Why? I'm the greatest chess player ever. He's not even American.
Checkmate.
Yes,
I do not wish to have to tell the Russians that there will be another today.
there will be no delay, number 1. There's still time.
Meanwhile...
Spice didn't do something like that when he went down. Checkmate.
Yeah. Of course, he's titting about.
I like her her performance because she gives these cute little character moments, like when she was
Checking
dicking
the
about
wings.
in the mirror before messing with her
Yeah.
hair, and
She's natural.
yeah,
Naturalistic. But I do love the fact that Bond has taken the time to change into a sailor's outfit.
he's having fun.
He's titting about, is what he's doing. He's on the clock here. He's got his wank bank card that he can spend whatever money he wants to shag about. He's got unlimited boats. He's bonking as many Russian women as he can get his hands on. And now he's deciding to tit about on my tax-paying money.
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to dress up like a sailor. Sod you, Bond. Get the bloody ledge.
You could argue
lector.
that the hat is to keep up appearances.
Yeah, but
in case he gets stopped by anyone, he could say, "Oh, I'm on a routine fishing expedition."
Oh, I'm a sailor. Can you not see my sailor hat and jaunty attitude?
Oh, I see. Carry on.
Can you prove you're a sailor? Tits. Ah, you swear like one. Brilliant. Oh dear.
Here, take the wheel.
But I've never flown a boat in my life.
I've never driven a boat, but sure. How hard can it be? I've driven a helicopter.
I've ridden a bike.
I nearly killed the actor of my film, but fuck it.
I've danced in the street. I can do this. Barrels.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down all boats.
Boats, slow.
Alongside while we keep you covered.
Slow boats.
Hands up, Mr. Bond.
Why are you giving up? Without those drums, the boat must be lighter. We can go
And your
faster.
Raspberry pistol. Keep your hands up, Mr. Bond. We're sending a boat along to take you off.
Nice.
Now that is cool.
He didn't have that many barrels.
But
he didn't have that many barrels, though.
now, think of all the damage that did to
Oh,
the
jeez.
ozone layer.
That Russian's on fire. He dived into the fire. You know,
You're screwed when even the water's on fire.
fun fact, in one single day, this fire released enough carbon to destroy the atmosphere for 3 years.
Yeah, but it made for a cool little sequence where men die.
Probably the best scene in this film so far.
You're screwed, don't you, when even the water's on fire?
What can you do? What can you do in this situation?
I love how it's so black the camera can barely, focus.
Yeah. Oh, you can imagine, can't you? Because
Oh,
wow. Because
I like to think that they thought, this film's not had enough explosions in it. Let's just have a footload at the end.
Because I've seen it before when you light I accidentally lit a blowtorch in my living room once. There's a long story. But I had it on the maximum setting and didn't realise, and when I lit it, the whole room plunged into darkness. It just went whoom, and this fire was just the only light source in this room. And there were normal lights.
You don't need to tell me the story of that. I just accept that you had a blowtorch in your room. And I'm just like, yeah, you did. I'm sure you probably did.
Yeah. But
Did you see who the cleaning lady was, by the way?
No, who? Still can't see.
He'll cut to her in a second.
Oh.
It's that Rosa Klebb.
Oh, no.
She's got that. Oh.
She's doing the best John Pertwee impression from The Green Death.
If it was Pertwee at the door.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, sir.
There's a cleaning house.
Do you have any magic Russian boxes I can nick?
What? I mean, I've come to clean your lab.
And signal the office on our way back, will you? What was that? Here, leave that. I'll do. Oh, no. Should be routine from here on in. Not so many times.
Oh.
Romano, the door.
If she gets away with this, it's one of the weirdest endings to a film I've ever seen.
Do you think she's going to get away with it?
No, because it's an English film with an English spy.
You sounded like you thought for a second that's what was going to happen.
Well, I know that these Connery films tend to sort of interlink, so I was expecting that MacGuffin to return probably in a later film like Thunderball or something.
The Lecter?
Yeah.
No.
Never
seen again.
So there was a tiny bit that just made me think, oh, okay, well...
They don't really interlink that well. The most they do is at that opening scene where it was like, we want revenge for Dr. No. That's about the extent of it. And just the odd line here and there.
Oh dear.
That's some fantastic deaf acting.
That was
She really sells that.
Painful. Well, she appeared as a shot in the dark.
Well. I was just waiting for the pun. After every kill, you got to wait for the pun.
Well, that came as a shot in the dark. But it's not really Russia, it's Istanbul.
We're not in Venice. They probably never set foot in Venice.
No. They probably sent some work experience boy over there with no money.
To shoot some green screen footage.
With nothing but an Italian phrase book and a Viennetta to his name.
That's the film of them bonking, by the way.
He was right, you know.
What is it?
I'll show you.
That's... Oh. Okay. Well, that's one evening around the Bond household I won't be present.
I love this. Lovely.
That's just...
Yeah, they said, not quite the end. James Bond will return in the next Ian Fleming thriller, Goldfinger.
So now it's become a franchise.
Yeah, well, that now you get that at the end now of every Bond film. Bond will return in... Sometimes they get it wrong. Like in Thunderball, it says something at the end like, he will return in on Diamonds Are Forever. He doesn't.
Oh, right.
That's not for the next film. Ernst Blofeld was played by the Riddler.
Oh, cool. So that was From Russia with
James
Love.
Bond theme by Monty Norman. Monty spelt wrong.
We don't care about him anymore. What was his name? Norman, something like that.
Norm N. Norman.
Norm N. Norman.
Well, the work experience kid had to get his due.
He did. He had to throw that sex film in the river pretty hard.
That was the film of this day's shoot.
Yes.
Chuck it in the water.
Do it again and do it with failing. So do they do the Bond will return next time even in the new films?
They do, but they don't give the title.
Oh.
Like, that's what I love about these older ones is that they'll say like that did, James Bond will return in Goldfinger.
Yeah.
James Bond will return in The Man with the Golden Gun. They'd give you the next film, so everyone would be like, oh shit, even though we've got to wait 2 years or so.
Yeah.
But in the new ones, they just say James Bond will return. Mainly because the new ones are plagued with so much production shit, they have no idea what the next title's going to be.
But they could always just... Well, I mean, what's the point in putting that? Because, you know he's going to return. They're not going to... The only way it'd be surprising if they went back and said...
It's just tradition.
James Bond isn't coming back. James Bond's dead.
James Bond will not return.
Yeah, James Bond will not return. See you in a bit.
It's tradition. Isn't it, really? It's kind of like... The best use of it was in Skyfall, because Skyfall had been delayed for like a good few years because of MGM getting sold off to 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
I really liked it in Skyfall where they have a habit in Daniel Craig films of ending with the gun barrel as opposed to starting with it. And then he does the gun barrel, and it says something like 50 years, because it's the 50th anniversary. And it just says James Bond will, in big caps, return. I just think I liked that because it almost felt like a sort of like a statement of intent.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because people will like touch and go whether they'd be able to carry on making them at MGM.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they were saying, "We're not going anywhere. Don't worry.
These
will go on forever.
It's more
and ever, and ever, and ever.
No one's ever really gone.
And ever.
No one's ever really gone.
And ever.
No one's ever really gone.
Never.
See, what I like about these recordings is because I use a splitter, it splits to the left and right channel, so yours will be one channel and mine will be the other.
And ever.
No one's ever really gone.
And ever.
No one's ever really gone.
Always make them.
Always make them. As long as they make money, they'll always make them.
It's like Doctor Who. No matter how crappy it gets in later years, it'll go on forever.
Forever and ever. No one's ever really gone. No one's ever really gone. Yeah, no, I can understand that one, for example, because, you know, it's more of a statement. But...
I think it's also like, as well, because all these early films were derived from Fleming's books, they knew what was on the slate next.
Right.
So it was quite easy for them to say, he will return in Thunderball.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one where they do get it wrong. At the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, at the end, I'm pretty sure it says, James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only. But then Star Wars came out. So it's like,
Moonraker.
Fuck, do Moonraker.
And did they do Moonraker and then For Your Eyes Only?
Yeah. For Your Eyes Only got put on the back burner because Cubby Broccoli was like, you seen this Star Wars movie?
You've seen the Star Wars.
Put him in space.
Put James Bond in space.
Put him in space.
Put him with the... Give him the golden gun, put him in space. Who else have we got?
Yeah.
Jaws? Put Jaws in there. We got Jaws and Star Wars.
But, like, because these Daniel Craig films are so cloaked in sort of behind-the-scenes bollocks that just delay everything, and everything takes about 10 years to do now, they couldn't possibly put the title on, because by the time they put the title on, it'll have changed about 5 times by, like, script development, production development, so there's no point.
Joy of the Hollywood system, sadly.
Yeah.
Before it'd be the case.
That's more indicative of the modern Hollywood system as opposed to the Bond films per se. But
shall we make another Bond film? Yes, go on then. That was how quick the processing was. Which one shall we do? I don't know. Spin the wheel.
Well,
okay.
it was just they were always set up as a series. It was never a case of they made Dr. No and sequels came about. They were always going to make more.
Yeah.
Of course, if Dr. No Bond, then it would be a different story, obviously. But they were always set to do a series of them.
Yeah. It was always going to have a reasonable.
Yeah, it was always going to be a quote unquote franchise.
Yeah,
it was just But I like the fact that audiences got to see what the next title was at the same time of seeing the new film. I like that, and that's something that should happen more often.
It carries across, but unfortunately, due to the.
I always like it. This is slightly off topic, but I always like it stuff like that in every time a season of Rick and Morty finishes.
Yeah.
The last episode is always cuts to Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Oh, you're going,
wow, that was a great season, wasn't it? I wonder what'll happen next time.
Well, we'll find out when it comes back in 4 years.
They should do something like that in Bond films.
Yeah.
It just cuts to...
Blofeld. That was an excellent
adventure. It cuts to Blofeld like, that Bond, shaking his fist.
How dare he defeat me in this instance?
I'll get you next time. I turned into Claw from Inspector Gadget.
I was going to say, yeah. Next time, Bond. Next time. Grrr. Dink-a-dink-a-dink. James Bond. James Bond. Dink-a-dink-a-dink. He's got a gun. Dink-a-dink-a-dink. James Bond.
He bonks the women.
Dink-a-dink. Sexual harassment. Go, Bond, go.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah. Hashtag me too. Matthew Broderick is Inspector Gadget, is James Bond.
Toxic masculinity.
50 years of it. Sexual
it will never end.
MAGA forever.
They'll never stop James Bond. What could they do next? Like Q becomes a robot.
M goes mental in Tokyo 2.
One of those still images is just M like with his shirt ripped. covering sake all over himself.
Yeah. Got one of those head sweatbands on. He's taking his tie off and put it round his head.
You can't see the funny face I'm making, but it's quite funny.
He's it's a scaled photo. It makes him look massive, like a daikaiju. So that was From Russia with Love. What score do you give it out of 10? Are we judging it out of spiders this time, or are we doing it out of?
I don't watch From Russia with Love too often. So I probably watch it I probably watch all of them like at least once a year, because that's just the kind of sad, pathetic wanker I am. But I don't go back to From Russia with Love too often, and I'm not sure why, because even though From Russia with Love has a reputation as the kind of it's the dark espionage Cold War thriller of the Bond canon, or like the one that actually goes out of its way to be a Cold War thriller, a la something like The Ipcress File or Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, but it's actually a lot more action-packed than I remember it being. You've got a big fight that goes on in a gypsy camp with explosions. You've got Bond setting the Caspian Sea on fire. You've got a really nasty scuffle in a train. It's a lot darker and more brutal in places, and sometimes not for the better, because there's that unfortunate scene where Bond slaps Titania in the train, and he slaps her pretty fucking hard. But again, like with Dr. No, Connery is just fantastic. He holds everything together. He's probably a little too chilled out in the first half of the film, but then the second half of the film, when it goes proper balls to the wall actiony, he really becomes he turns into like Danger Man #1, you know.
Oh yeah.
And considering Sean Connery actually nearly physically got fucking killed by a helicopter while he made this film, so I wonder he came back to do it again for the next outing. Maybe that was in his contract for the next film. I noticed there's not a lot of helicopters in Goldfinger. Oh yes, there is. Putty Gold's a helicopter pilot. Dumbo. But I would probably give From Russia with Love, I give it 9 red wines with fishes out of 10.
Wow, that is quite a stark score. I'm kind of in two minds about it, because as a spy film, it's great.
Yeah.
As a spy film, it's brilliant. The irony, of course, as you've mentioned in this commentary, and I think in the previous commentary that we did for a James Bond film, is that James Bond films tend to be more action-driven rather than spy-heavy.
But this was only the second go. They didn't really sort of know what this series was going to turn into. I think by the time Goldfinger came around, because the first two, Dr. No, From Russia with Love, were successes. Like, people liked them and loved them and wanted to see more. But Goldfinger was when it turned into like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like it was like Beatlemania. It was suddenly like everyone suddenly got into Bond by Goldfinger. And I think that Goldfinger happened to be, as you'll find out, Goldfinger is probably one of the more outlandish entries. And that's because, and when that stuck, that turned into the template. Make everything bigger, make everything dafter. Now let's put the villain in a volcano.
Yeah.
No, let's put the villain in space.
Well, this is the thing, and this is the problem I've got really in giving it a rating, is I'm not sure whether to judge it as a spy film or whether to judge it as a James Bond film.
Let's judge it as a film. Does it work? Is it great? Did it keep you entertained? Did it keep you riveted?
To a point. I think the direction in Cine was very nice. I think Connery, again, was more or less in his element, doing the best thing he could. I loved the Bond girl in it. Thought she was very, very nice. Very natural actress. A lot of these actresses tend to be a bit more...
Considering she wasn't an actress. She was a model.
Yeah.
And who had never acted before. You'll notice the credit, she had an and introducing credit at the start. But yeah, Connery's just so great. Enjoy him in this peak period before he gets fed up with the role and he starts phoning it in. But enjoy him when he's actually trying and being just effortlessly cool. Will you make love to me, James, when we're in London? Day and night. Go on about the mechanism.
It's got great cine direction, acting is solid, soundtrack cracking, really nice soundtrack, underrated soundtrack, I would argue. Again, the editing can be a little bit here and there, but that's neither fault. The thing that bothered me the most was I thought that the train sequences were a bit overdone.
Went on a bit.
Yeah, I think you could probably bring that down a bit.
The train, we do spend an inordinate amount of time on that train, which, I personally think it's worth it because it pays off. It culminates in that really good fight that Bond and Grant have. And I think all that tension. There's something very like Hitchcock about those sequences.
Oh yeah,
it definitely owes a debt to something like North by Northwest or even Strangers on a Train. Ironically enough,
I mean, I will say those train sequences, while they do go on a little bit, they still do look nice. It's not, so that's got it going for it.
The photography is gorgeous. Ted Moore was the DOP. He'd go on to do quite a few of them.
Yeah,
and he really helped to sort of give the Bond films that sort of jet setter, man in danger man on abroad on a dangerous mission look, while also giving the locales, a bit of life, a bit of flavour to them.
I think if I was gonna, you're gonna get annoyed with this because you like a blunt score. You like a blunt score. You like I'm gonna give it this.
Oh, you're not gonna give it a half.
No, I'm not gonna give it a half. If I was judging this as a spy film, exclusively as a spy film, not a James Bond film, but just as an espionage kind of Cold War thriller.
So you mean
like
if it was just starring Mr. Secret Agent, not James Bond?
Yeah. If it was outside of this franchise, if it wasn't a James Bond film, James Bond had nothing to do with it, but it was just a spy espionage thriller type film, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. As a James Bond film, it doesn't kind of fit the remit of what those films normally are.
No.
And I find that it's a little bit, in my opinion at least, a little bit too slow for a James Bond film. I like my James Bond films to be a bit more hit, that, kind of,
But it's going for a very
going for a different
vibe.
tone.
It's very, and it stands out from the others, particularly in this era. But this is interestingly this is the film that the Bond films are it's like Doctor Who. They basically go through cycles. So when it gets too camp and daft, they always say, we're going to make it dark and serious. And then it gets too dark and serious. Oh, we'll make it camp and daft again.
Yeah.
And then, no, we'll go back to being
dark and serious.
So it constantly goes through this back and forth. And whenever they talk about we're going to make it dark and gritty, they always bring up From Russia with Love. They always say, we're going to make it dark and more espionage like From Russia with Love. But I don't think any of the films have ever sort of matched this one. So this film is it's so 1963. Even though I think there's something about this film that feels very 50s.
Yeah.
By the time we get to Goldfinger, we'll be in full on 1960s Technicolor, Bam Pow Biff mode.
Full on Adam West Batman type.
Not quite, but
approaching that.
Some bits that are very, very near that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so as a spy espionage film, I would give it an 8. As a James Bond film, part of this franchise, I would be wavering more towards a 6. In general, as a final score for this, I think I would give it a 7. I think it sits somewhere between an 8 and a 6, personally. Because as a spy film, I think it's great. I think it really, really works as a good piece of espionage cinema. As a Bond film, it doesn't really meet the remit of being a Bond film in that sense. Like I say, it doesn't fit the qualities of the Bond films that I've seen, at least, in terms of those things. But because of the fantastic singing direction, because of the great acting, and because of the fact that it is such a damn fine spy thriller in and of its own right, I kind of have to bump it up
for me, it's
a
a case of quality over quantity. I think there's not a lot of action sequences in there, but the ones that are in there, they really make count.
Oh, yeah.
Like that boat chase at the end is brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they put so much CO2 in the atmosphere.
Although it could be argued it is a bit of a step down from Dr. No, where they literally vaporised an island. On the one hand, you've got an entire island is no longer habitable.
This probably has more action in it than Dr. No. It's definitely a bit more hard-hitting than Dr. No. It's a bit more cold and brutal than Dr. No.
Well, I'm trying to think of the action scenes that are in Dr. No.
He has a very short one-sided fight with the driver at the start.
Yeah.
There's a very brief car chase with the 3 blind mice who go off the cliff. I think they're on their way to a funeral.
There's the bit where the
spider,
the professor gets shot in the back.
The spider. Don't forget the spider.
The spider, my mortal enemy.
And then when he gets to Crab Key, there's quite a few. It escalates from there. Honey and Quarrel getting pursued by the guards. There's the show off with the dragon. Then there's the really great stuff with Bond escaping from sneaking through the chutes like John McClane.
Yeah.
Getting burnt and drowned simultaneously. And then there's the big
finale.
Dr. No space goes up at the end.
Yeah.
This one has fewer specific action sequences, set pieces, but the set pieces it does have, they really go to town on.
Yeah.
So I think like you have the big gypsy fight, you have a brief sort of chase scene where they actually nick the Lexor from the embassy.
Mm-hmm.
You have the very Cold War sequence where Bond and Kerim snipe the guy
in the window.
In the window.
She should have kept her mouth shut.
Yeah. You have the fight on the train.
You've got the scene in the very beginning where he gets fake Bond garroted, which in and of itself is really an action scene because it builds the tension. You've got the train scene, of course,
You've got the helicopter chase, you've got the boat chase, and finally you've got
the attack of the cleaning woman.
With Rosa Klebb and her poison shoe.
Her poison shoe.
That's what it is. It's a poison tipped dart. That's why when she stabs Kronstein, he has like a 2-minute death scene.
Yeah. I'm reminded of Austin Powers where he has the bad guy throws the shoe.
The book ends with him getting stabbed by the dart.
Oh.
Yeah. In fact, the book ends actually in the exact... I didn't want to say this, but the book ends in the exact way you suggested it might end.
Oh, yeah.
Bond gets stabbed with the dart and they run off with the device.
Excellent. That sounds like a great lead into another film.
Well, actually, the next book in the series was Dr. No.
Oh.
They did it topsy-turvy.
So what? So does the Lecter get mentioned in Dr. No? Or?
Yeah, M calls Bond at the start of Dr. No. It's like, Bond, you fucked up Royal.
You were too busy focusing on Totty and you've lost our Lecter.
Bond, you fucked up Royal, so we're going to send you to Jamaica on a nice, easy mission. Find out what happened to this missing agent. And, of course, it doesn't turn out to be a nice, easy mission.
No, it turns out to be a bit more involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my God, you want to talk about the book? The Bond gets put through shit in the books. I think because Ian Fleming was probably quite depressed. And his sadness would often leak out in Bond. Like, You Only Live Twice, the book, is a very, very strange novel.
Really?
Very strange. It ends with Bond. It begins with Bond having been recovering from brainwashing by Spectre.
Right.
He is sent to Japan to recover. The first half of the book is essentially a travelogue of Japan because Ian Fleming couldn't be arsed. So basically it's just Bond going around Japan, recovering from his midlife crisis, describing Japan.
Huh.
And then the second film, he fights Spectre in a castle. Blofeld runs a suicide island, or what he calls a suicide garden. It ends with Bond stranded on an island with amnesia.
Wow.
You Only Live Twice, the book. The film is not like that.
I was going to say, I've not seen that one, so.
The film is your typical Bond fare, but the book is like a midlife crisis.
Wow.
It's really dark and strange and unusual.
Yeesh. Well, I look forward to that one then.
Well, the film You Only Live Twice isn't like that.
Oh. Does the film have anything in common with the book, or?
He goes to Japan. That's. You'll notice as the films go on that they don't really follow the book's plots too much.
No, but they've got a good title, so we'll take that.
Well, yeah, some of the later ones just take the title and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like A View to a Kill, was the title of an Ian Fleming short story. Nothing to do with the plot of that film or anything that goes on.
Does this mean that in a couple of years we'll be treated to James Bond Will Return in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Oh yeah, Ian Fleming wrote that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Was that part of his depressed episodes as well?
I think he wrote it to like... He said he wrote it because he wanted something for his kids to read.
I'm fed up of writing Bond novels. Timmy and Sarah are pissing me off. I'm going to write him a book.
Well, it's because he'd always get slagged off because the Bond books were like, oh, they're just the violent masturbatory fantasies of a jaded ex-secret service man. Like, you know, they're just like public schoolboy fantasies. And he's like, well, I'll show you. I'll write something that everyone can get into. So he wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
The greatest paedophile of all time, the child catcher. Yeesh. Well, I hope you enjoyed From Russia with Love.
I hope you enjoyed it more than Dan did, at least.
I gave it a 7. I think it's a solid. It's an 8 as a spy film. It's a 7 as a Bond film. Yeah, I thought it was all right. I'd look forward to watching the next two. What are the next two?
Goldfinger and Thunderball.
Ooh.
And it's interesting that's like you sort of think from them in pairs, because Dr. No and From Russia with Love for me belong very much in the early era, almost the sort of the beginning, cooler, more laid back era. Goldfinger and Thunderball, things go up to 11, man. We're getting to full blown action hero, comic book Bond as a proper sort of comic book hero almost. Sort of, you know, basically the template for the future is established firmly in Goldfinger, and they don't deviate from it from a very long time.
Nice.
But yeah,
I look forward to seeing that then. It should be.
But well, that's another story.
That's another story for another day.
That's a whole year later. James Bond will return
in Goldfinger. I hope Ringo Starr gets to do the theme tune again. Thank you so much.
Not after he throws him some shade in Goldfinger, but we'll come to that, I suppose.
We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on this comedy dining experience for the film From Russia with Love. If you enjoyed the video, good. I'm not going to ask you to leave a comment, like or subscribe. Not going to do that. It's not my intention. But if you would, well, that's your choice. Thank you.
Put the timestamp in the comments and I will write you a love letter.
There you go.
Send me your email and I'll write you a personalised love letter.
From Ben with Love.
From Ben with Love. Yes, exactly. I'll turn up in your bed wearing a black choker.
Oh, God.
While you leave your bath running.
Oh, shit. Not again. I've already got in trouble with the missus once, called blimey. Right. We've had a very British evening. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, watch out for spiders. Goodbye.